Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss anything. But today I just wanted to get on here and kind of do like just more of a talking kind of vlog, I guess you could say, because I feel like I don't really get on here and just talk that much. So of course I wanted to talk business, and I kind of just wanted to walk through like step by step how I started, where I want to go, some ups and downs I've had along the way, pretty much everything. So I started my business September 19th, I think it was, of 2018. And originally I started it just like, I was tired of working at the hospital I was working at, cleaning up. And I was just like, what if I just try something that I actually care about, which I had always made like jewelry growing up, like little bead sets, little different things, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, my whole life. That was kind of like my thing. I loved like crafting. I loved making things. So, I started that in 2018, and originally I just took like some stock pictures of name necklaces from Google, like typed in, took the stock pictures and I posted those just to see. Like I was like, oh, I'll sell name necklaces for I think back then I put $15. So then came down to the part of, finding out actually how to get them, because I started this on a whimsical, child. I had no idea what I was doing, which is like why it still shocks me whenever people come to me trying to open or start their own business and they're like, what did you do? What did you do? And I'm just like, you don't want to do what I did. I did things not the way they're supposed to be. But nonetheless, so I went on a website called AliExpress.com and I typed in name necklace. And so I found one, and that vendor was charging like, I think they were charging like $4 for a name necklace. And I was just in my head, I'm like, wow, like I could profit like over $10, just thinking, not knowing anything back then. And so I went ahead, and whenever I got my first order, somebody hit me up in the like my messages and was like, oh, I wanna buy a name necklace from you. You said it's $15. They cashed at me, bada bing, bada boom. So I go and I place my order on my end as a business owner on AliExpress, and that went fine. And I'm waiting. I'm like, oh yes, they're gonna love it. And then 1 week passes by, 2 weeks pass by, 3 weeks pass by, 4 weeks pass by, 5 weeks. Mind you, my customer is hitting me up constantly, and I had multiple at that time. I think I had sold like a total of maybe like 5 necklaces. So I had 5 people like, oh hey, do you know anything about my jewelry, yada yada. Excuse me. And I'm just like, yeah, let me check on that. And child, I did not know anything about AliExpress. I didn't know anything about their shipping times and stuff like that. But those name necklaces back then used to take 6 weeks to even be made, not even to ship to me, to be made 6 weeks. And then on top of that, I had to wait 2 weeks for it to get from China, is where they were making it, to where I stayed. So I was just like, man, this is not gonna work. This is terrible. I have a lot of angry customers. I want to do something about this. I want to seem professional, and I need faster turnaround times. So at this point, I've added initial necklaces too. So I was doing name necklaces and initial necklaces at this point, which is probably, the beginning of 2019. And at that point, I'm getting kind of better at this to where it's like running like a full-blown business would. But I didn't like the fact that I didn't have a website. But I did manage, like, during that time between 2018 and September to the start of 2019, I found two vendors in the US for the name necklaces. Yeah, for the name necklaces. And then for the initial necklaces, I was still getting those from China though. So, but with the vendor I found on AliExpress, for the initial necklaces, they were delivering them in, like, I'll say a week and a half, 2 weeks, instead of like 8 weeks. So I wasn't really complaining. It was still shorter than like the 8 week period I had going on, and that was just way too long. So we were down to 2 weeks then. So after that, the start of 2019, so I'm still running my business. I added like some of my cosmetics. So I had started selling lashes. I started selling eyeshadow glitters, lip gloss, and things like that. And that was starting to do actually pretty good. And I also started getting into like charm necklaces and things like that, which people really like elephant charms, butterfly charms, things, of that nature. So that was cool. And then I finally planned my move to California, which is where I stay now, because I was staying in North Carolina. So I moved to California July of 2019. And that kind of changed everything, because if you're not familiar with California, there's this thing called the Fashion District for one, and the Jewelry District. And so the Fashion District is where you get all your wholesale clothes, shoes, belts, accessories, everything. Jewelry shops where it's just like, it's everything you could imagine that's online for purchase, they have in these stores. And you have to have, your seller's permit and your business license and everything like that. So I had all that. So, I went to the Fashion District, in the Jewelry District, and like I bought so much stuff. Like I had actual stock for the first time, rather than ordering offline and then having to wait these weeks. Then, like, once I moved to California, all this stuff was just available for me whenever I need it. So, after that, business honestly skyrocketed. So between July to November, business was doing amazing. So I was in the position where I was like, okay, I'm ready to set up a website. There needs to be a place for these people to buy what they want to buy without having to DM me and then cash at me, because that was honestly a really long process, because I'm taking orders through Messenger and DMs on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm actually having to talk back and forth directly to each and every single one of these customers, and then get Cash App information and shipping information, write it down in a book, and then refer back to that whenever I was getting this merchandise in. Look whose name that item was for, look at their shipping address in the messages, and just do too much. So I found an easier way. I was like, bet, like, I'll start a website. So I started the website in November of 2019, and it was amazing. Like, it went so good. So I had, of course, my Black Friday sale. Because it's holiday season too, so I think that's another big reason why business was doing so good when I first launched the website, because it was holiday season. So it was the perfect time. People are spending money. Customized jewelry is definitely always a great gift. So I went and threw a Black Friday sale, Christmas sale, Thanksgiving sale, all of them. And I was hitting the sales. So I was really just experimenting with my website, figuring out how it even worked, because I'd never ran a website by myself before. So everything went good, and then January 2020 happened, and it changed my perspective, because I'm not gonna say this is my first time experiencing it, but I've forgotten about it, especially because in January of 2019, I was still fairly new as a company, as a business. Like, I was still taking orders on Cash App in 2019. So it's like I wasn't getting that much traffic, that much business. I was probably having like 15 customers waiting at a time, opposed to 2019 where I have over 100 orders at a time. So business did grow like that. And so I was not prepared for Chinese New Year. And depending on what kind of business you run, kind of depends on whether your business would get affected by Chinese New Year, especially if you have Chinese wholesalers. So I did for certain things, and it was terrible. So nothing was getting shipped to or from China. Therefore, I could not get certain items that I needed. I think I had at the time the like all diamond name necklaces. I didn't have those coming in because I had those still coming from China. Just like a bunch of different stuff like that I was strictly relying on my Chinese vendors for at that time. So it was terrible, and I didn't get orders out at that point. I think it took me until March for them to actually start shipping things out, because directly after Chinese New Year, if all the business owners know for sure, directly after Chinese New Year, coronavirus destroyed some businesses. Like, and I'm not even going to say like destroyed it completely. I'm just saying during the first beginning part of it, a lot of people were so scared they weren't even worried about just shopping online right away. Now, a lot of businesses gained from the coronavirus because whenever people got stimulus checks and everybody was quarantined at home, they had nothing better to do. But in the initial beginning part, it was tough times. So that was probably the worst between January of 2020, so this year, and I'm gonna say April. It was bad. I went from getting like, at least I'll say 10 to 20 orders a day to like a whole week I went with 0 sales. And I keep track of like how much, because it'll tell you on the website how much you've accumulated for that week, and mine was literally at 0. So I was just like, And then the stimulus checks came and everybody was spending and it was good again. So we're kind of still in that part. Like, even though things aren't back open, things aren't the same. I don't know. I've been trying different marketing strategies now. I've been buying ads on Facebook and Instagram. I've been promoting on more social media platforms. So I've been promoting on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, my business Instagram as well, because I have 2, Snapchat, everything, like just ads everywhere, the marketplace. So business right now, and we are now it's August 1st of 2020. I think business is starting to become more steady because I'm doing all of this advertising, and I can keep track and look at the analytics after my ad is done. So I am seeing that like people are adding carts and doing things like that. Like on my last ad I did on Facebook, I looked at those and it said, I believe, like 33 people added to their cart from that post. So it does work. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. I'm at the point now where I'm trying to keep all my orders under 50, like pending orders under 50, because at one point they were really, really, really high and a lot of people were waiting for this stuff. But now that I've kind of caught up from the whole coronavirus scandal at the beginning where everything was kind of shut down. Life was shut down. The fashion district was shut down for months. Now that we're past that and things are kind of reopening a little bit, and they're closing too, but they're reopening some things, like the fashion district is open now at least, and things like that, then I can run smoothly, and I have been. So I'm keeping those orders, pending orders, down to under 50 at a time. Shipping times are a lot quicker. I have US vendors for my name and my initial and my picture necklaces now, as well as like the bling name and necklaces. So I did manage to find US vendors for just about everything that I sell now. So I don't really have that much. If I have a long shipping time or like processing time for an item, it's just because it's customized in a way that takes time. Like with name necklaces, you really can't rush this because the name necklaces that I sell don't tarnish. So like it's not gonna be a fast process, I guess you could say. The first step is they have to cut and engrave the metal, which really the first step is they have to approve the design by me. So we do that, and then once I say, okay, I like that design, they continue with it. They cut the metal out, then they have to carve it, and then they have to polish it, and then we have to put the non-tarnishing treatment on it, and that actually has to cure for 48 hours. So yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I want to make sure that I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not going to jeopardize my quality just to get things out faster. But things are just naturally getting faster because I'm working with US people now. So I'm excited about that right now. I'm excited to see where these ads really take me. I might like up my budget on them because really I just be doing like $10 here and there, and it seems to be doing something. So I wonder how much more I could get if I up my budget on the ads. But I need to make a nice clean cut kind of commercial, I think. So I'm gonna be working on that. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think I rambled on enough. If you made it to the end, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Once again, just leave a comment. Let me know you're here. I'm kind of new to this YouTube thing, but I really do want to start being more consistent on here. So in the comments below, comment what you think my next video should be about, and also leave me a hearty emoji for the love that I have for you. Until the next video, see you guys later. Bye.